Wait, aren't the rapture and the resurrection the same thing? Most people think they are. Same event, same moment, same meaning. But what if I told you they're not? What if two of the biggest events in Bible prophecy actually happened differently at different times for different purposes, and almost nobody talks about it clearly? Picture this. The sky turns strangely quiet. Not dark, not stormy, just still, like the world itself is holding its breath. People are driving to work, kids are at school, phones buzzing, normal life. And then, in less than a blink, someone disappears. A chair falls backward, clothes drop to the floor, a car swerves with no driver, no explosion, no warning, no sound, just gone. Millions vanish, not dead, not destroyed, gone. The Bible calls this moment something powerful, the rapture. 1 Thessalonians says believers will be caught up, lifted, taken into the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. Not walking, not running, rising, like gravity just lets go. Bodies lighter than air, fear replaced with peace, tears replaced with joy, families reunited mid-sky. Imagine looking down and seeing the earth get smaller beneath your feet, cities fading, clouds parting, light getting brighter and brighter. And then you see him, Jesus, not distant, not symbolic, right there, calling you home. That's the rapture. But here's where it gets interesting, because that's not the resurrection. See, most people mix these two together, but Scripture separates them very carefully, very intentionally. The resurrection is different, completely different. This isn't people disappearing. This is something deeper, older, more powerful. Graves opening, dust breathing again, hearts beating after centuries of silence. Think about that for a second. Every believer who ever lived, every grandmother who prayed, every child who trusted God, every martyr, every saint, coming back, not as ghosts, not as memories, but alive, real, physical, transformed, the earth itself giving them back. Cemeteries can't hold them, time can't erase them, death can't keep them, because when God calls, even the grave has to obey. That's resurrection power. And here's the moment most people miss. The Bible says the dead in Christ rise first. Then those who are alive are caught up, which means resurrection happens, then the rapture follows. Two events, connected but not identical. One is the rising of the dead, the other is the lifting of the living. One comes from the ground, the other goes to the sky. And together, they create the most supernatural moment humanity has ever seen. Imagine standing there, watching the sky open, feeling the air change, hearing something like a trumpet echo across the world. Not music, not thunder, but a sound that shakes your soul. A call, personal, direct, like heaven just spoke your name. Your heartbeat racing, your feet barely touching the ground, light wrapping around you. Everything you feared, gone. Every pain, gone. Every regret, gone. Just peace, just hope, just home getting closer and closer as you rise through the clouds. And as you rise through the clouds, you don't feel fear. You don't feel weight. You feel free. Like every burden you ever carried just fell off your shoulders. No sickness, no anxiety, no heartbreak. It's like your body isn't fighting gravity anymore. It's being pulled by something stronger, something calling you upward. And everywhere around you, others are rising too. Thousands, millions, from every country, every language, every age. A little girl laughing as she floats higher. An old man smiling like he's young again. A mother reaching out and grabbing her child's hand mid-air. No chaos, no screaming, just overwhelming peace. Because somehow, everyone knows exactly what's happening. This is the moment they prayed for, the moment they waited for, the moment Jesus promised.
And the closer you get to the light, the brighter it becomes. Not blinding, warm, like standing in sunlight after the coldest winter of your life. Then you see him. Not a picture, not a statue, not a story from a book. Jesus, real, alive, standing in glory. The same hands that were nailed to the cross, now shining like fire. The same voice that calmed the storm, now calling his people home. And suddenly, you understand something no sermon ever fully explained. This isn't escape, it's rescue. God stepping into history and saying, "Enough, my children are coming home." But back on Earth, things look very different. Cars still crashing, news reporters shouting, hospitals confused, airplanes with no pilots, phones ringing with no one answering, people searching for family members that simply aren't there anymore. Because while believers are rising, the world is panicking. And this is where the story gets heavier, because the rapture isn't just about who leaves, it's also about who stays. And that question hits hard, really hard, because not everyone goes. Jesus said 2 people would be working side by side, one taken, one left. Sleeping in the same bed, one gone, one still there. Same house, same family, different eternity. That's not meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you up, because the resurrection and the rapture aren't just cool prophecy events, they're personal. This isn't history class, this is your name on the list, your choice, your faith, your moment. And think about this, when the graves opened, when the dead rose first, that means people from centuries ago will be standing next to modern believers in the sky. Disciples, martyrs, early Christians, people who faced lions, prisons, swords, now alive again, stronger than ever, bodies that can't decay, can't bleed, can't die, completely transformed. The Bible calls it a glorified body, not weak like ours, not limited like ours, but powerful, eternal, perfect. No pain ever again. Imagine that. Never getting tired, never aging, never crying at a hospital bed, never saying goodbye at a funeral. Death doesn't even exist anymore, because death already lost. It lost the moment Jesus walked out of that tomb. And now he's collecting everyone who belongs to him, like a king gathering his people before something huge happens next, something the world has never seen before. Something Scripture calls a time of trouble, a time of shaking, a time when everything humanity trusted starts falling apart. And as believers disappear and heaven fills with light, the earth below feels darker, quieter, uncertain, like history itself is holding its breath, waiting for what comes next.
And that silence, it's strange, not peaceful, not calm, heavy, like the air itself knows something just changed forever. Sirens start echoing through empty streets, car doors hang open, phones keep vibrating on kitchen tables, coffee still steaming in half-empty mugs, but the people who were just there, gone. No warning. No time to pack, no second chance conversation, just absence, and the world can't explain it. News stations scramble for answers, mass disappearances, global phenomenon, unidentified event. Scientists argue, politicians blame, experts guess, but deep down, people remember something. Something they once laughed at, something they ignored, something their grandma used to talk about. The rapture. And suddenly that word doesn't sound crazy anymore. It sounds terrifyingly real. Church buildings are packed again, not with worship, but with confusion.
Some pastors missing, some still there, some crying, some finally understanding what they never truly believed. Bibles left open on chairs, notes still sitting on pulpits, verses highlighted, warnings that nobody thought would actually happen. Until now. Meanwhile, up above, everything feels different. No fear, no noise, only light, brighter than anything your eyes have ever seen. But it doesn't hurt. It heals. It feels like stepping into the safest place you've ever known, like home. You look at your hands, and they're not the same. Stronger, lighter, alive in a way you've never felt before. No scars, no weakness. Every breath feels powerful, like you were finally made the way you were always meant to be. And all around you, faces glowing with joy, people hugging, laughing, crying tears that aren't sad, just overwhelmed. Strangers greeting each other like family, because somehow everyone understands we made it. We're here. Then the sound comes. Not thunder, not music, something bigger, like a trumpet that shakes the universe itself. Deep, royal, authoritative. The kind of sound that makes you stand straight without even thinking. A king's announcement. And every eye turns toward the same place, toward the throne, toward the light that's brighter than 1,000 suns. And there he is, Jesus, closer now, not distant, not symbolic, real, more real than the ground you used to walk on. His presence isn't just seen, it's felt. Like love itself has weight, like grace has a heartbeat. And when he looks at you, it's not judgment you see first, it's recognition. Like he's saying, I've been waiting for you. Every prayer you whispered, every tear you cried, every lonely night you held on to faith, he remembers all of it. Nothing was wasted. Nothing was unseen, and for the first time, everything makes sense. The struggles, the delays, the unanswered questions, they weren't punishment, they were preparation. Because this moment, this gathering, this rescue was always the plan. But while heaven fills with celebration, earth keeps spiraling. Governments declaring emergencies, people demanding answers, some blaming aliens, some blaming technology, some blaming God. Fear spreading faster than truth, because when hope disappears, panic takes over, and the world starts searching for someone, anyone, to promise safety, to promise control, to promise order. And that's when new voices begin rising. Smooth voices, confident voices, leaders saying, we can fix this, we have solutions, trust us. And millions listen, because desperate people will follow anyone who sounds certain, even if they shouldn't. And history begins moving faster, like dominoes falling one after another. Events lining up exactly like the old prophecies said they would. Wars, alliances, strange signs, systems changing overnight. Money, power, control, everything shifting. And somewhere between heaven's glory and earth's confusion, you realize something heavy. The rapture wasn't the end of the story. It was the beginning of something much bigger, much deeper, much more intense. And as you stand there in that endless light, watching God's plan unfold across both heaven and earth. You can feel it, like the next chapter is already moving forward.
Like the next chapter is already moving forward. Not slow, not gentle, fast. Like time itself has been released. Like history pressed the fast forward button. From where you stand, everything looks different now. Heaven isn't just clouds and light. It feels structured, alive, purposeful. Angels moving with direction, messengers carrying commands, names being called, moments being prepared. Nothing random, nothing accidental. Everything timed perfectly. You start to realize something. This isn't escape. This is deployment, not just rescue, assignment. Because everyone here isn't just celebrating, they're preparing. Like soldiers before a victory march, like citizens waiting for a king's coronation. Robes of light, crowns, songs rising like waves. But beneath all of it, there's anticipation, like the greatest event in existence is about to unfold. And at the center of it all, Jesus, still there, still shining, still closer than you ever imagined possible. When he walks, space itself seems to part. When he speaks, it doesn't just sound, it settles into your soul. Every word carrying weight, truth that feels heavier than gravity. And you notice something strange. No fear at all. Not even a drop, because fear can't survive here. It's like it was burned away the moment you arrived. Only peace remains. Real peace, not the fake, everything's fine kind, the deep kind, the kind that says you're exactly where you're meant to be. Then something else catches your attention. Huge screens of light, not technology, not human, more like living windows. And inside them, Earth, still turning, still struggling, still searching. Cities glowing at night, emergency lights flashing, crowds gathering in the streets, people arguing, praying, crying, some kneeling for the first time in years, some shaking their fists at the sky, some finally opening that dusty Bible they ignored for decades. Because when the world loses answers, people start looking for God. But not everyone looks the same way. Some choose faith, some choose anger, some choose denial. And that difference, it's starting to shape everything. You see governments forming new alliances, one leader standing out, calm, charismatic, smart, the kind of person everyone trusts instantly. His words smooth like silk, promising peace, promising unity, promising protection. And people cling to him because after chaos, peace sounds like heaven, even if it's fake, even if it's temporary, even if it costs more than they realize. But up here, you see what they can't. You see the full picture, like watching a chessboard from above. Every move predicted, every piece positioned. Nothing surprises God, nothing catches him off guard. What looks like disaster to earth looks like prophecy unfolding to heaven, exactly as written, exactly on time. And suddenly, you remember all those verses people used to debate. Will it really happen? Is the revelation symbolic? Is the rapture even real? Funny how nobody debates now. Now it's reality, solid, undeniable. History isn't theory anymore. It's happening right now, right in front of you. And the feeling growing inside you isn't fear, it's awe. Because you finally understand something most people never did. God wasn't slow. God wasn't late. God wasn't silent. He was patient, waiting, giving chances, giving time. But time always has an edge, and eventually it runs out. Then the music rises again, louder this time, voices joining, millions, maybe billions. One song, perfect harmony, no rehearsals, no mistakes.
and somehow you know every word, like it was written into you before you were born. Praise flowing naturally, not forced, not religious, just love, pure love, the kind that makes you want to sing without even thinking. And as the sound fills everything, as light keeps expanding, as heaven keeps preparing, something else shifts again. A movement, a signal, like the next event just got closer, closer than ever, like the story is about to step into an even bigger moment, and you can feel the air tightening with expectation, like the universe itself is holding its breath.
Like the universe itself is holding its breath, not silent, but waiting. That strange kind of quiet that happens right before something massive, like the moment before thunder cracks the sky, like the second before ocean waves crash. Heaven doesn't slow down, but everything feels sharper, more focused, more intense. The light around you grows brighter, almost liquid, flowing like gold through the air. It doesn't hurt your eyes. It feels alive, warm, safe, like standing inside pure hope. And then you notice movement again, ranks, order, multitudes aligning, not chaos, precision. Angels moving in formation, messengers traveling faster than thought, commands passing without words. Everyone knows exactly where to be, exactly what to do. It's not panic, it's preparation, like heaven has rehearsed this moment since the beginning of time, because maybe it has. A trumpet rests in an angel's hand, not just an instrument, a signal, a declaration, a sound that doesn't just travel through air, it travels through reality. You don't know how you know this, but when it blows, everything changes, forever. And below, Earth keeps spinning, still unaware, still distracted. Cars rushing down highways, phones lighting up faces, news anchors talking fast, pretending they understand what's happening, experts guessing, scientists explaining, politicians promising. But none of them see what you see. None of them know how close everything is, how thin the line has become between now and eternity. You watch a small church, not famous, not rich, just ordinary people. A tired pastor, a handful of families, kids drawing in notebooks, an old woman praying quietly in the back row. Nothing impressive, nothing viral, but heaven watches them like they're royalty, because faith isn't measured by size, it's measured by heart. And their prayers rise like sparks of light, straight upward, breaking through the clouds, reaching this place. You actually see it. Prayers have shape. They glow, they move. Every whispered, "God help me," becomes something real, something powerful. Nothing was ever wasted. Not one tear, not one late-night cry, not one silent plea. All of it recorded, all of it remembered. And suddenly you understand, God didn't miss anything, not a single moment of anyone's life, not yours, not theirs. No forgotten pain, no unseen sacrifice. Everything mattered. Everything still matters. Then the sky above heaven shifts, not darker, deeper, like space opening, like layers of glory pulling back, revealing something even greater, something older than time, the throne. Not small, not symbolic, vast, unimaginable, brighter than 1,000 suns, but somehow gentle. Power rolling off it like waves, authority that makes stars look tiny, and yet peaceful, holy, perfect. You feel it in your chest, like gravity just increased, not heavy, but reverent. Every being nearby bows without being told, not forced. It just happens naturally, like your soul knows this is the center of everything. And standing before that throne, Jesus steps forward, still carrying that same calm, that same love. But now there's something else, strength,
kingdom-level authority, the kind of presence that could command galaxies, the Lamb and the Lion, together, mercy and justice in one face. And when he looks toward earth again, it's not anger, it's resolve, like a promise about to be fulfilled, like history finally catching up to his words. You remember everything he said. I am coming soon. I go to prepare a place for you. Do not let your hearts be troubled. Back then, they sounded comforting. Now, they feel unstoppable, like nothing in existence could delay what's about to happen. And that trumpet, the one the angel holds, is slowly being raised, higher, steadier, heaven growing quieter, songs fading, movements slowing. Even the light seems to pause, like all creation is focusing on this single second, this exact heartbeat, this exact breath. If time had a pulse, this would be it. You feel it too, that electricity in the air, that rising anticipation. Not fear, never fear, just certainty, the kind that settles deep inside you and says, this is it. Not an ending, not destruction, but the beginning of something so big, so glorious, so beyond imagination that words could never hold it. And as the trumpet reaches the angel's lips, as heaven leans forward, as earth keeps moving like nothing is wrong, as prayers keep rising, as prophecy lines up perfectly, you realize something wild. Everything, every war, every tear, every prayer, every verse, every single moment in history has been leading right here, right now, right into this unfolding second that hasn't fully broken open yet. Right into that unfolding second that hasn't fully broken open yet. The trumpet is still lifted, frozen, not by hesitation, but by timing, perfect timing. Because heaven doesn't rush. It moves exactly when it's supposed to. Not early, not late, on the dot. And somehow, that pause feels louder than any sound ever made. Your heart starts pounding, not from fear, from expectation, like standing on the edge of something too big to understand, like watching the ocean pull back before a tidal wave. Everything feels stretched, elastic, as if reality itself is being pulled tight. And you notice something strange. Time isn't flowing normally anymore. Seconds feel longer, heavier, thicker, like syrup. Below, on Earth, tiny things begin to shift. Nothing dramatic, not yet, just small glitches. Lights flicker for no reason. Birds suddenly take off all at once. Dogs start barking into empty air. Babies stare at corners of rooms like they're seeing something adults can't. A man driving home feels an unexplainable chill run down his spine. A woman wakes up from sleep with tears on her face, whispering, "Jesus." She doesn't even know why she said it, but her soul does. Across cities, across deserts, across oceans, something invisible is moving, like a wind that can't be measured, like a frequency only spirits can hear. And believers, true believers, start feeling it first. That gentle pull in the chest, that sudden peace, that strange excitement, like homesickness, but not for a place they remember, for a place they've never seen. Yet somehow they recognize it. A little boy looks out the window during school and smiles for no reason. An old man in a hospital bed suddenly stops fearing death. A woman praying in her kitchen feels warmth wrap around her like arms. None of them understand why, but heaven does. Because their names, their real names, are being spoken, softly, one by one. Not shouted, not announced, spoken with love, like a parent calling children home for dinner. And every time a name is spoken, light flickers beside the throne, tiny sparks, thousands, millions, each one connected to someone on earth. Every spark a soul, every soul known, no one lost, no one misplaced, no mistakes. You watch angels move between those lights, checking, confirming, guarding, not cold or robotic, but careful, like handling something fragile and priceless, because that's what humans are to heaven, priceless, not numbers, not statistics, stories, every life a story, every story remembered. And suddenly you hear something else, not the trumpet, something deeper, a rumble, low, massive, like the foundations of the universe shifting, like gears turning behind reality, like ancient doors unlocking. You look beyond the throne and see space itself reacting, stars trembling, galaxies bending like grass in the wind, the fabric between heaven and earth getting thinner, thinner, like a veil about to tear, like two worlds slowly overlapping. For just a split second, you see both at once. Earth, heaven, same place, same moment, stacked on top of each other. And you realize they were never far apart, just separated by something invisible, something temporary, something that's now fading. Then you notice Jesus again, still standing, still watching, but closer now. Closer to the edge of heaven, like a king about to step onto a battlefield or a groom about to walk down the aisle. There's emotion in his eyes, not sorrow, not anger, longing, like he's waited centuries for this reunion, like every prayer ever whispered, "Come, Lord Jesus," is finally being answered. His hand lifts slightly, not dramatic, just simple. But when he moves, creation responds. Clouds part, light bends, angels kneel, power flows outward like waves in water, and the air fills with that feeling again, that certainty, that something is happening right now feeling. Even people on Earth start noticing. Phones lose signal, clocks freeze for half a second, wind stops completely. No leaves moving, no sound, like the world just inhaled and forgot to exhale. In a crowded street, a girl drops her coffee and doesn't know why her hands are shaking. In a prison cell, a man who hasn't prayed in years suddenly whispers, "God, if you are real." In a small church basement, a group singing softly feels the room grow brighter, not light bulb bright, different, alive, and for just a heartbeat, it's like heaven is bleeding through, like the border is dissolving, like two realities are about to collide in the most beautiful way imaginable. The trumpet is still there, still waiting, still inches from sound, and everything feels like it's balancing on the edge of that first note.
Right on that edge of the first note. That breathless space, that almost, that not yet. The trumpet still hasn't sounded, but now the silence feels alive. Not empty, loaded, like the air before lightning strikes, like the sky holding back thunder. Even heaven seems to be listening, waiting for its own command. And you realize something strange. Your body feels lighter, not floating, not lifted, just less heavy, like gravity is slowly losing interest in you, like the earth's grip is weakening. Below, a nurse walking through a hospital hallway pauses. Her shoes suddenly feel softer against the floor, like she's barely touching it. She looks down, confused, shrugs it off, keeps walking. But 3 steps later, she feels it again, lighter. Across the city, a teenage boy scrolling his phone stops mid-swipe. A calm washes over him. Not happiness, not sadness,
Peace. Deep. Unexplainable. Like every worry he's ever had just dissolved. He doesn't know why, but he smiles. For no reason. Cars keep moving, traffic lights still change, people still talk. The world looks normal. But underneath, something invisible is shifting. Like the code of reality is being rewritten. Like gravity, time, and space are quietly stepping aside, making room. And in heaven, the lights connected to souls, they're glowing brighter now. No longer tiny sparks, they're pulsing, heartbeat-like. Thumb, thumb, thumb. Millions of them, all syncing together like a giant rhythm, like heaven itself has a pulse. Angels move faster now, not rushed, but purposeful, focused. Some kneel, some lift their hands, some whisper prayers in languages older than earth. Not prayers of fear, prayers of celebration. Like they've rehearsed this moment for eternity. Like this is the day everything was pointing toward. Then you hear wings, not flapping, not noisy, just a deep rushing sound, like wind passing through mountains. More angels gathering, rows upon rows, beyond counting, filling the skies of heaven, their armor gleaming, their faces calm, joyful, ready, not for war, for welcome, like a royal homecoming, like soldiers lining a path for their king. And at the center, Jesus steps forward. One step, that's all. But that one step sends waves through existence. Stars flicker, nebulas ripple. It's like the universe itself bows. His eyes scan Earth, not the countries, not the borders. People, individual faces, every tear, every prayer, every lonely night, every whispered, "Help me." He remembers all of it. Nothing forgotten, nothing wasted. And for a moment, you swear you see him smile. Soft, warm, like a parent seeing their child after years apart. Then, something happens. Subtle, but massive. The veil between heaven and earth, it cracks. Not breaking, just thinning so much that light starts leaking through. Real light, not sunlight, not fire, pure, alive. It slips into bedrooms, through hospital windows, through prison bars, through church ceilings, through cracked apartment doors. Nobody sees beams or flashes, but they feel it. Like warmth on cold skin, like someone saying, "You're safe now." Believers fall silent mid-sentence, mid-step, mid-thought, like something just called their name without sound. A pastor stops preaching and tears fill his eyes. A little girl drawing angels suddenly looks up at the ceiling like she recognizes something. A tired mother washing dishes closes her eyes and whispers, "It's close, isn't it?" She doesn't know why she said that, but her soul knows. And then the air pressure changes across the entire planet. Tiny, but real. Like when an elevator starts moving, that slight drop in your stomach, that weightless feeling. Millions feel it at once. Nobody understands, but everyone feels something. Phones glitch, radio static crackles. Animals go quiet. No birds, no insects, even the wind stops again. Nature itself holding its breath. Back in heaven, the trumpet finally moves, not to play, just closer, closer to the angel's lips, and you feel your heart racing now. Not fear, not panic, anticipation. Like standing at an airport gate, waiting to hear your flight called home. Like hearing footsteps outside the door after years of waiting. Your chest feels warm, almost glowing, and you realize you're not just watching this, you're part of it, connected, like an invisible thread tied from your soul to that throne. gently pulling, not yanking, just inviting, like gravity has reversed, like up is now home. And somewhere far below, a church bell rings by itself. No one touched it, just one slow, deep chime, echoing through empty streets. And right as the sound fades, the sky above Earth seems just a little brighter than it should be.
Brighter than it should be. Not sunrise bright, not lightning bright, just wrong. Like someone quietly turned up the exposure on the sky. Clouds look thinner, edges glowing, almost transparent. A man walking his dog squints upward. Was it always this white? He shakes his head, keeps walking, but the dog stops, won't move. Ears stray up, staring. Animals always notice first. Birds that were silent now lift off together, not chaotic, perfect formation, like they're being guided, like something invisible just passed over them. And then time feels strange, not slower, not faster, just stretched, like each second suddenly has weight, like the world is moving through thick air. Inside a grocery store, a can slips from someone's hand. It falls, but the drop feels longer than it should, too long, like gravity forgot the math. Clink, the sound echoes, way too loud. People glance around, confused. No one says anything, but everyone feels it now. That quiet pressure in the chest, that unspoken knowing. Something is about to happen, something big, something final. Back above, the thin veil between heaven and earth shimmers harder, like heat waves on asphalt, except it's everywhere, across the sky, invisible to the eyes, but the soul sees it, feels it, like static before a storm. And the lights in heaven, those soul lights, they're no longer pulsing slow, they're racing, faster, brighter, like a million stars trying to break free. Angels line up shoulder to shoulder, endless rows, stretching beyond sight, their wings folded, heads bowed, waiting for one sound, one signal, one note. And at the center, Jesus lifts his hand, slowly, gentle, not dramatic, but the entire universe reacts. Galaxies subtly tilt, planets hum, time itself seems to hesitate, like even time refuses to move without permission. His hand stays raised, and every angel goes still. Perfect stillness, the kind that makes your ears ring. And then, on earth, people start feeling it stronger now, that pull, that upward tug, like invisible strings tied to their hearts. A college student, sitting alone on his bed, suddenly feels tears roll down his face. He doesn't know why, nothing sad happened, but he whispers, "Jesus," like it just slipped out, like his soul remembered something his brain forgot. Across town, an old woman clutching her Bible presses it to her chest. Her hands are shaking, but she's smiling, softly, peacefully, like she's been waiting her whole life for a knock on the door. A firefighter pauses mid-step at the station, looks around. Everything looks normal, but he feels lighter. His boots feel weightless, his heartbeat steady, calm. Too calm, like fear itself got removed from the world. Hospitals, airports, schools, homes, cars on highways, everywhere, little pockets of stillness, tiny pauses, like reality blinking, like the world buffering. Phones lose signal for half a second, clocks skip a tick, digital screens flicker. Nobody can explain it, but the air, it smells different, clean, fresh, like the moment after rain, like the world just got washed. And then a child points at the sky. "Mom, why does it look like that?" The mother looks up. She doesn't see anything strange, but her heart jumps, because for a split second she thought she saw shapes, movement, like shadows inside the light, like something massive passing overhead, too big to understand, too bright to look at. Back in heaven, the angel holding the trumpet closes their eyes, breath steady, ready, but still waiting, because it's not just about the sound, it's about the moment, the exact second written before creation, down to the smallest heartbeat. Nothing early, nothing late, perfect. And you feel it now too, that pull, stronger, your fingers tingle, like electricity dancing across your skin, your chest warm, almost glowing. Breathing feels easier, like oxygen got sweeter, like the world can't hold you anymore, like you're already halfway somewhere else, somewhere higher, somewhere brighter. You look around, everything looks the same, walls, floor, sky, but something deep inside whispers, "This isn't home anymore." And just for a second, you swear you hear music, not loud, not clear, just faint, like a choir miles away, like harmonies carried by the wind. Beautiful, too beautiful to be human, notes that feel like light instead of sound. And the sky, it pulses once, soft, like a heartbeat, then again, stronger, then again, like something on the other side is pushing closer, closer, closer.
Closer, closer, until the sky doesn't look like sky anymore. It looks alive, breathing, like the air itself has a pulse. That soft glow spreads wider now, not blinding, not scary, just holy, like the world accidentally stepped into a place it was never meant to see yet. People stop walking, cars slow down, conversations fade mid-sentence. Nobody says why, nobody says what's happening, because deep down, they already know. This is not weather, not science, not coincidence. This is promise. The kind written thousands of years ago, the kind whispered in prayers, the kind people hoped for but never really expected to see. And then every sound drops. No traffic, no birds, no wind, no machines. Total silence. The kind of silence that presses against your ears, like the whole earth just held its breath. Even the ocean seems still, waves frozen halfway to shore, leaves hanging mid-air, time itself trembling, waiting. In heaven, the armies of angels open their eyes together. Millions, billions, golden light reflecting in each one, wings slowly unfolding, feathers catching fire with radiance, not burning, glowing, like sunlight made solid. And at the center, Jesus steps forward, not like a king demanding attention, not like thunder, but gentle, certain, unstoppable. Love and power wrapped into one presence, the kind of presence that makes mountains bow, the kind that makes stars sing. His robe moves like it's made of light itself. His eyes, not fierce, not angry, just full of home. Like every tear you ever cried suddenly makes sense. Like every lonely night had a reason. Like every prayer was heard. He looks toward earth and smiles. That smile, it breaks chains you didn't even know you had. And then he nods, just once. The angel lifts the trumpet, the metal shining brighter than galaxies.
For one last second, everything pauses. The final stillness, creation holding its breath. And then, the sound. Not loud like an explosion, not harsh. It's pure, clear, perfect. A note so powerful, it doesn't just travel through air. It travels through souls, through atoms, through time. It passes through buildings, through mountains, through oceans, through hearts. And every believer feels it instantly, like their name was just called, like someone whispered, "Come home." Across the world, lights begin rising, not falling, rising. Tiny sparks lifting off the ground, from houses, from hospitals, from streets, from quiet bedrooms, from prison cells, from church pews, from places nobody ever noticed. People look up and realize the lights are people, bodies glowing, pain gone, fear gone, weight gone. A woman sick for years suddenly stands straight. No oxygen tank, no weakness. She laughs, actually laughs. Then light surrounds her, and she lifts gently upward. A tired old man in a chair closes his eyes, whispers, "Thank you," and dissolves into gold. A little kid holding his mother's hand beams with joy. "Mommy, it's him!" And both rise together, hand in hand, like gravity finally gave up. Across highways, empty cars roll slowly to a stop. Inside homes, clothes fall softly to the floor. But it's not scary, not tragic. It's peaceful, like candles being carried into the sky. Thousands, then millions, then countless. Streams of light ascending, like stars reversing direction, like heaven is breathing everyone back in. You feel it too now, stronger. Your feet barely touch the ground, your heartbeat steady. Not fear, not shock, just peace. Deep peace, the kind you've searched for your whole life. Your chest glows, warm, bright, every regret fading, every wound erased, every what-if gone. Only love left, only him. The world below looks smaller, quieter, further away. And above, the clouds part fully, not splitting, opening, like doors. Golden light pouring through, music swelling, not instruments, not voices, something bigger, like creation singing, like joy has a sound. And as you rise, you see them, endless, believers from every nation, every time, every language, all rising together, smiling, laughing, crying tears of happiness. No pain, no death, no darkness, only light, only home. And then you cross the edge, the thin line between earth and forever. The moment your feet leave the world completely, you feel arms around you, strong, gentle, safe, like you were expected, like you were never forgotten. You look up, and there he is, closer than breath, brighter than the sun, and somehow so familiar, like you've known him forever. He doesn't say much, just one sentence, soft, warm, "I've been waiting for you." And in that moment, every question you ever had disappears, because you finally understand this was always the plan. The sky behind you slowly closes,
like a curtain, like a chapter ending, earth growing distant, heaven growing brighter, the music rising higher, and the last thing you feel is weightlessness, peace, and home.